Welcome to Crosscode, and today we're going to be showing you some of these sweet pastries, baby. When we're done showing you them, they can go right away. So today, I'm going to show you how to do that. So first off, you want the Stream Deck OBS plugin over here, and second off, you actually want the Barrator Window Mover and Resizer plugin right here. And then lastly, you want the OBS Move plugin here. So you just click download and then install. It's very simple. Once you've got that installed, come over to the Stream Deck app and make a multi-action switch. So this is going to execute multiple actions, and it's going to toggle back and forth between one set of actions and another set. And the first thing that we want is a Windows mover. And this is going to position our browser to the position that we want and to be the size that we want. So you just go to app name and you select your browser. You've got Firefox. And then for X and Y position, you can actually just position the browser somewhere that's going to be comfy for you and hit get window coordinates. And then you also want to have it resize. So select resize. And then for the height, I do 600 tall by 800 wide. And then we're just going to select make window topmost. So that way it'll pull it up on the screen for you as well. So now, let's say you're full screen or something, you hit the button and bam, it just goes to the position that you want and then the size that you want. I'm just going to have this one be real small for the purposes of our video here. Okay, come on over to OBS and we want to add our browser source. Position it wherever you want to have it. Pro tip, you can just make it real big and then hit Control D and that'll center it right on the screen for you. But then you can't see what I'm doing, so we're going to make it small over here, right there. So now click on this scene filters button here. It's this gradient icon. So I'm going to hit plus and then we're going to add move source. This is going to be our browser appear end because this is going to be the end location that it ends up. So now we're going to select our source, Firefox. And now I'm going to hit get transform. So that's kind of done the magic. So if I move this browser source around, if I move this over here, even off screen, and then I hit this little eyeball preview button, it'll go right back to where it was set. If I move it down here and hit get transform, now if I move it up here, it goes down to where I hit the get transform button. Super powerful. So this is where the browser is going to end up. Let's duplicate this and we're going to say this is going to be browser appear start. I'm going to reorder it because I like to have it kind of set up right. Our start position, we can actually screw around with this and make it like real small. Over here or something. I'm gonna hit get transform. Let's say our thing is off screen. If I hit the first one, it goes small and then and it gets big, right? So now we can actually automate this. If we go to browser appear start, let's go to our actions here, scroll down to the bottom, and the next move will be browser appear end. So from browser appear start, the next move, when the movement ends, it's going to go to the appear end. I know this might be a bit confusing, but basically the end result is, let's say it's off screen and we hit browser appear start, it goes like that. So one last thing with this is the easing function. So when we hit it, it does do two separate right? So we want that to be one fluid motion. All we want to do for that is just change the appear start easing to ease in and the ending easing to ease out. Now it's a just smooth motion, much nicer. And you can also even change the duration. So for the duration of the end, you can set that to like 500 milliseconds. And now it kind of goes nice little smoother thing. So you can play around with that as much as you want. And then you have the easing function, which is important too. And I encourage you to like look it up. But you can see that we've got other functions in here. So there's like bouncing. This is easings.net if you wanted to look into this. You've got quint, quant, blah, 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 blah. Pretty much bounce and elastic are the only like particularly interesting ones here probably. So I'll leave that as cubic and then set this to like bounce. And now when I activate it, it kind of does a kind of thing. So plenty of fun to be had with that if you want, but obviously the stock stuff is just fine. So next we want to make the browser leave the screen. So we're going to duplicate our browser appear start. We're going to call this browser leave start. The browser appear start, if you remember, the transform is real small. So it'll already shrink it down to being real small. But actually what I'll do is just for illustrative purposes, I'll scoot it down here. So we'll scoot it down there. We'll hit Get Transform. Now let's duplicate this browser leave start. We'll make it browser leave end. So this is going to be where it ends up, which is off screen. So we'll change our easing to ease out. We want to get our transform out there. Now we just need to set our browser leave start to say, hey, I want to go to leave end on the next move. And then on leave end, we just want to make sure that that's set to none for the next move, because it's just going to go here and not do anything else. And that'll be that. So now when we hit browser appear start, bam, it goes up here. And then when we hit browser leave start, it goes bam, it goes off screen. Easy peasy. And you can daisy chain as many of these as you want. You can have it go here and then go to the middle and then go out and whatever, go up your nose, out your ass. You can do whatever you want. Pretty cool. So next up, let's come over to the Stream Deck app and finish this off. So we've now got the Windows mover that kind of defined our positioning and size and stuff like that. If we just type in filter up here and throw in an OBS Studio filter, we can select the source that we want. For me, example scene. And then we can activate those filters that we were just creating. So we can do browser appear start now. And now this will activate our little animation showing up. And beyond that, I've actually got our little sound effects. Got my little mouse click sound. Throw that in there. Actually, I also have some Stream Deck keys. Got a little browser PNG I'm going to put on here. So when it's on, it's going to be, lit up like that. And then when it's off, I actually got a little browser off here. That's just kind of great. That'll help you identify what state the button is in. So for our other side of the multi-action, I had actually copied over this Windows mover. I'm going to make it minimize instead and not make it topmost anymore. So let's also copy over our OBS filter. And rather than doing the browser appear start, we want the leave start. And then we also want to play a different sound effect. So I've got that little dial-up sound. Throw that in there. Made by yours truly. I think we're pretty much done. Big problem here, though, is that the Windows mover will minimize it first, which means that the audience won't see the filter, because for the audience, it'll also have minimized them. So we just want to make sure that's last. Actually, there's a delay here. We want that delay to be almost nothing between the filter activating and the sound playing. So just lower that for the filter, between the filter and the sound. And then it's okay if the sound delays our Windows mover. Then back over here, let's adjust that delay. Should have no delay after the studio filter. I think that should be that. Let's test it out. Bring back my OBS, but I'll hide it for you. So you're like, you're an audience member watching our game, and oh, what do you know? I want to look at something on the internet. So we press it. We see our browser window. We can look up some pastries or something, and then when we're done, yep, pretty good. So that's that.